Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here today. And we are going to be discussing our top holidays that are trending right now for 2021 and beyond with rail bookers. Now, just to start off with, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Charlene. I'm one of the executives here with Rail Bookers. And I'd also like to do a great introduction for my colleague Nirav from Travel Crafters, who's kindly invited me to speak with you all today.
Hello everyone, I'm Nirav. Most of you probably just know me from the travel industry and being a client of mine. And what we are currently doing together with rail bookers is not putting any sort of sales. What we are putting at this moment is more the inspiration that we everyone know that you can't actually travel overseas at this moment, but even Australia is such beautiful and diverse place. And one thing probably most of us haven't done is Australia by rail. So we thought with rail bookers, because they are the experts in what they do, we thought we'll just put something together for you so you can at least consider doing the Australia by rail, or at least enjoy our beautiful country. So in this session, Charlene will give us all the information, including some of the questions in case if you have at the end, you can ask us and we can definitely help you out in terms of answering pretty much all of them in the best possible way. Over to you, Charlene.
Thanks so much, Nero. So I'm going to talk you through how you can put those questions in. So we have a little question box there, and throughout the presentation, you can pop them in the question box. What I'll do, I'll provide you all with an answer at the end of the presentation. But let's give it a bit of a try now. Give that question box a go. I'm going to ask you, what destinations are you currently dreaming about for 2021 and beyond? Love to see those answers, and I can see them coming in now, which is fantastic. Some interest there, obviously, for Australia. Our own backyard is absolutely beautiful, and today I'm going to cover off some of those great journeys, things like the Ghan, the Indian Pacific, those bucket list itineraries that we know so much about and we all dream about doing. And I can also see there's some interest here for New Zealand, which is also really good. We have 6 actual itineraries for New Zealand available, anything from 9 days all the way up to 16 days, but I'm going to give you one of the best itineraries here today. So stay tuned for that. But a couple of other destinations coming through, which is really good. Obviously, people are looking at traveling in 2021. Once everything is lifted, we can get out the world, explore the Canadian Rockies, Scandinavia. I can see some of those coming through now, even the likes of Russia and the Golden Eagle, which is a spectacular journey through the Trans-Siberian. So really exciting. I'm very happy to bring all these to you. So what I'm going to cover off today, as I mentioned, we're going to discuss some of those destinations that you're keen to visit in the near future. Now, not surprisingly, many of the places that you want to visit are the same ones we're getting inquiries for and bookings right now. So during the course of this event, what we're going to do, I'm going to let you know about some of those trending itineraries we have, and also a few limited time offers that we can give you through Travel Crafters to save on your next holiday. And because I know that it's really important to a lot of people right now, I'm going to also let you know about how the rail operators are adapting to provide a safe environment for your travels. So just to introduce ourselves, our company Railbookers, we've actually been around for over 40 years, and we focus on rail vacations. So we cover off the likes of Europe, Australia, New Zealand and beyond. One of the biggest benefits that you're going to have is that you can actually have the ability to secure rail 24 months in advance, just as you would have done the likes of with the cruises and the coach tours in the past. You can do the same with rail. Now, travel crafters can actually use our services to get you some amazing bucket list destinations, and it's going to have the freedom and the flexibility to book when and where you want to go. You're not going to be locked into specific dates or itineraries. We can customize all the arrangements for you. And whenever you do travel with a booking from Rail Bookers, you can rest assured you're going to have 24-hour support from our team. We have offices across the globe, including here in Sydney, where I am. We've got 2 in the US, we've got 1 in Canada and 1 in the UK. So every time zone's covered there to answer your calls if you can't get in touch with travel crafters whilst you're travelling. So really do give you that peace of mind. Now, Rail Bookers offers a one-stop shop booking experience. So any vacation package you may have booked in the past, you're going to get the same sort of treatment. You've got the packages, including everything from the rail transportation, hotel accommodation, sightseeing tours, transfers, and more. And we can tailor make any holiday package here at Rail Bookers. So if there's something that you see that's similar to what you want, but not absolutely perfect, rest assured we can amend it as necessary. You give travel crafters a call, and what they'll do, they'll speak to one of our experts. We'll work together to add on any destination, adjust an itinerary to make it a round trip. We can book a trip in reverse, as well as look at alternative hotels to suit your needs and budget. Now, Rail Bookers takes the mystery and the stress out of rail travel for you, and this is a really good example of why you don't tackle rail on your own. You don't go online, you come to the experts, you come to the likes of travel crafters, your travel agents, and we will work with them. All those colourful lines you see there on that map of Europe, they're all different high-speed rail lines. You don't touch them because none of them talk to each other. What we'll do, we'll recommend the best routes and the trains to catch. With our partners, travel crafters, we'll make sure we piece together your perfect next holiday. And as you come to expect, rail has adjusted for the current conditions. So trains around the world have enhanced their cleaning protocols with equipment and the trains sanitised frequently. They've gone cashless and contactless, and that's going to limit the opportunity for any spread. With some of the trains, they've also stopped the sale of the food and drink on board, just on the day trains temporarily, again, to limit the opportunity for spread. But the seat configurations have been adjusted. That ensures that social distancing. It's going to give you that peace of mind. You're going to get more space on board. Social distancing reminders are everywhere. The face masks are being used at the stations and on the transportation. So really is adjusting to what the situation is right now in the world. But rail, I can't recommend it highly enough. It offers the freedom and the flexibility to start on a date that suits you, unlike a coach tour or a cruise. Now, what we have here, if you see on that left-hand side, is a coach image. Obviously, lots of people on board, cramped, trying to sort of get that view through that front window. Don't worry. On the rail, you're going to get to sit back, relax, take in full views, as well as having room to roam. So you can get out of your seat, visit the cafe, the observatory car, just stretch your legs. And unlike flying, the rail stations are central in all the cities. So there's no more travelling in and out of town for hours, checking in luggage and doing the same on the other end. It really comes with that level of convenience. Now, I promised we were going to talk about some bucket list itineraries. So let's check out these. And this one is a little slice of heaven. So we have the classics of New Zealand. It's a 10-day adventure. You're going to begin in Auckland, take what they call the Northern Explorer train down through that North Island to the capital city of Wellington, cross over into the South Island, you go via the Cook Strait there on this really excellent inter-islander ferry. It navigates through a beautiful area called the Charlotte Sound. You're going to enjoy some really wonderful Pacific views. And then you get on the Coastal Pacific train all the way over to Christchurch. You're going to cross over the Southern Alps aboard the legendary Transalpine train and spend a night near the Flans Joseph Glacier. And then on to the famous city of Queenstown. So lots of exciting things to do there, but one of the best things is you're going to enjoy a day discovering the natural beauty of Milford Sound. So this itinerary has a lot of highlights and a few must-sees in the country. So the first one, the Franz Josef Glacier. It is one of the steepest glaciers in New Zealand. It has some truly incredible features. You've got ice caves, tunnels, crevices, and they're all constantly changing. And then you've got Waitomo glowworm caves. Now, I've visited this. It's been a tourist attraction for over 130 years. So you're going to get to wander through the cave, marvel at its tallest chamber, which is the cathedral, and you'll embark on a silent boat ride through the glowworm grotto to take in the magical creatures that light up the cave above. But of course, no doubt, a highlight to any journey in this particular part of New Zealand is to visit the Milford Sound. So you can do a day trip on this, on the Classics of New Zealand itinerary. You'll take a coach down to Tianu and then a cruise along that beautiful sound. You'll travel past Mitre Peak. You'll take in the stunning scenery, the vertical cliffs, those huge waterfalls, and dense rainforests. And the trip includes a beautiful picnic lunch as well and a nature guide for the day. Now, what I noticed from a lot of the responses we got is that a lot of people are wanting to stay close to home. So, of course, the Garn is one of those bucket list itineraries. You're going to travel through the centre of Australia. It is absolutely amazing. You're going to do more than just transit from Adelaide to Darwin or vice versa. What you'll have on board is sumptuous dining, elegant private cabins, attentive service, and also the camaraderie of your fellow travellers. And when the train stops, the adventures begin. So you have all your meals, your fine wines, your beverages included, but also immersive off-train experiences in Marla, Alice Springs, and Catherine. So our next itinerary I'm going to highlight for you that uses this Garn is our Sydney to Darwin. It's an 11-day journey, takes you on the rail holiday of a lifetime, and it's bringing together two of the world's most iconic trains, the Garn and the Indian Pacific. So this adventure takes you from the bright lights, big city and beautiful harbour of Sydney and over to the cosmopolitan city of Adelaide, and from there you'll travel through the Red Centre on the longest train in the world up to the capital of Australia's Northern Territory, which is Darwin, and you'll have 3 nights there to really enjoy all of that. But what I will state is that the Garn ride is not all that this itinerary has to offer. We've actually included a hop-on, hop-off tour in Darwin. That's to explore the city's wonders, and also a Kangaroo Island tour from Adelaide so you can witness all the stunning wildlife of the area. And another great Aussie rail journey that I know a lot of people are very interested in is the Indian Pacific. And this traverses mountain ranges, it passes through deserts, goldfields, all the rocky valleys there, and the subtropical savannas, I should say, and it's on a transcontinental crossing. So it is named for the 2 oceans that the train encounters on the journey. You've got between Perth, Adelaide and Sydney, so the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean, and it's a spectacular 4,352 kilometre crossing. So like the Garn, you're going to have all your meals, your fine wines and your beverages included, and your off-train experiences, which in this case are for Broken Hill, Cook, Rallina and Perth. So it really is no better way to experience the spectacular interior landscape of Australia than by the romance of rain. So one of the best itineraries that utilises this service, that really highlights the Indian Pacific, is our Australia Coast to Coast adventure from Perth. So this is over 14 days. You're going to spend 2 nights in Perth before boarding the Indian Pacific for an epic journey to Adelaide in gold service. You're going to have the luxurious amenities on board. They're the perfect complement to all the changing scenery that's going to pass you by looking through those panoramic train windows. And also you've got those stops I mentioned. So the experiences in Kalgoorlie, Rallina and Cook, you're going to get to know all those outback ghost towns that we see on the television and we've always wanted to visit. Now, each day on this trip offers travellers something new and exciting to explore. So we'll kick off the itinerary there in Perth. You're going to have a hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour, and you'll get to see the lights of Kings Park. Then you're going to get to discover Adelaide on your own. You're going to board the overland train off from Adelaide to Melbourne. And in Melbourne, you're going to have a real highlight, which is the Phillip Island Penguin Parade. That's at Summerland Beach during an evening tour. So a lot of highlights included in this itinerary. But as you can see, Australia really does have some great journeys to offer. This one, however, is a bit of a hidden gem. It's one of our new products, our 11-day Queensland adventure. And it really does bring the best of Brisbane, Cairns and Port Douglas. You're going to have an overnight journey by rail on the Spirit of Queensland train. And I've checked this out. This is really something. I think that's been hidden because how you travel by train is like being in a business class pod. So it's certainly not the experience you would expect on a train on those general travels. So one spectacular journey to do, and along the way you're going to experience some of the most beautiful locations that many dream about visiting. So this itinerary, it does cover off a trifecta of experiences. So from Cairns, you're going to get to go on the Coranda Scenic Train, and that's up to Barron National Park. It's a real must-do of the area. You're going to enjoy the Skyrail back, travelling high above the canopy there of the rainforest. And on the same day, you can enjoy the village with its wildlife, its butterfly sanctuary. You can go and see the waterfalls, you can do bushwalks, or you can visit Jabberkai. And Jabberkai is where you can witness some really spectacular Aboriginal performances. Then heading up to Port Douglas, you're going to have a full day out cruising on the best part of the Great Barrier Reef, taking all the colourful sea life. You can go snorkeling there. There's a submergible boat tour that you can do as well, or you can even take a helicopter ride and see it all from up above. And then to cap it off, for your stay, we're going to have an adventure day, learning about the traditional life of the land, have a walkabout around the Mossman Gorge there. So that's a half-day tour, and you can relax for the afternoon in Port Douglas. So really is the best of Queensland. Now, I will let you know we do other parts of the world, and I'm going to just highlight a couple of little itineraries that have been really big, and certainly for 2021 some standout bucket list experiences. You've got riding high on the wish list, the Switzerland's lakes and mountains. It's a 7-day itinerary, and you can take the scenic trip of a lifetime through stunning Switzerland by rail. So you'll start off with an overnight stay in cosmopolitan Geneva, another overnight stay in beautiful Montreux, and then continue the journey to Interlaken, where you have a memorable trip to the highest railway station, the top of Jungfrau Mountain. And then to complete this incredible journey, you'll have a day trip across some spectacular viaducts and glide past some impressive glaciers all the way to Tirano in Italy. On the trip, you're going to witness all the best of Switzerland. So you've got alpine villages there like Interlaken and Chur. You've got the cosmopolitan centre of Geneva, and my own personal favourite, Montreux, which is situated on the beautiful Lake Geneva there. You've got some beautiful boulevards and some amazing history there. And you're going to travel also on 2 of the world's very best rail journeys, the Bernina Express and the Glacier Express, which are both UNESCO World Heritage Sites. And the other one that's been really popular for 2021 for us is Alaska, another great destination. And of course, the journey to your destination should always be as spectacular as the destination itself. So this is a location that truly embodies that. And Alaska by rail means that you can visit some places that are inaccessible by cruise. So you're going to step off the train into fresh air, avoid all those long bus journeys from cruise ports, and get out to Denali National Park. So you will be able to create your own schedule rather than follow a group tour set schedule, and that can all be done by rail. Great journey to do it with is the Alaska Adventure, and it's a 9-day tour, so it's going to be taking you out to glaciers, fjords, mountains and lakes. You'll experience it all. Kicks off in Anchorage. You get on board the Alaska Railroad for the Coastal Classic down to Seward. Do a cruise through the Kenai Fjords National Park. You'll see wildlife, the mountains and the glaciers there. Then head back up through Anchorage into Talkeetna and then off to the crown jewel of Alaska, which is Denali National Park. So that's something that you should keep in mind. You want to get overseas, 2021, do a bucket list, do Alaska Adventure. And when you do travel through Alaska, you do it through the scenic rail. So what we do, Alaska Railroad, we include our packages with standard adventure class. You can see it's a pretty comfortable way to travel. You get your confirmed seat with the large picture windows, the onboard dining there and cafe, and you get the freedom to explore all the locations on the train. So there is an open seating Vista Dome class. So it's like being on the Rocky Mountaineer, if you've ever seen that with those domes. So really picturesque, uninterrupted views, really stunning indeed. But if you are looking for something finer, we can always upgrade you to Gold Star service. And that means you're going to be on the upper level, get better views. You're going to have a dining car, inclusive dining down there, private bar with 2 complimentary beverages, and an Alaskan tour guide providing the narration. And when you do go to Alaska, you also get to stay in some really stunning locations. So Denali, we have the Denali cabins. They're situated in a quiet wooded area away from all the large resorts. So that Alaskan wilderness feel, nice, gentle, open air, breathe in all that fresh mountain air, and you're going to have all the comfort and amenities that you come to expect from a hotel as well. So it is the ideal base camp for exploring Alaska, and particularly Denali National Park. But of course, we'll concentrate on what is on offer now, and Australia and New Zealand are definitely the locations that we know are hot topics for you. So what we're going to offer is savings. So savings up to $500 per couple, and we cover off Australia and New Zealand. As I said, the classics in New Zealand that we covered, you do save money there, but the Australian journeys that we haven't covered today are also available. So what we're showing you is just the tip of the iceberg. You speak to travel crafters, they'll be able to piece something together with us for your next journey through the bucket list destinations of Australia, your Great Garn Adventure and the Indian Pacific, either from Perth or Sydney. Now, what I will say to all of you that may be concerned about locking in bookings now is that we have in place a maximum flexibility offer. So any new and existing reservations can change travel dates or cancel up to 5 days prior to departure without any fees. We've got this in place until the 30th of September. It won't last forever, but right now what we do offer is that peace of mind about any future travel that you may wish to book with travel crafters. So I have noticed there has been some questions come through. I thank you very much. If you want to pop any further questions in, now is the time to do so. It's been exciting to give you some of these itineraries, and I know that there are a few people out there that are interested. And let me see what we've got here. So I have a great question from Sandy. Sandy's asked about when the best time to travel is. Well, really, I would say, Sandy, every day is a great day to travel. Every season offers something new and different for you. But when it comes to Australia and New Zealand, Australia, when you're doing the likes of the Garn and the Indian Pacific, the middle of the year, taking in the June, July and August period, tends to be a great opportunity because the weather is perfect through that region. And also there are more departures, so you'll have a little bit more choice about when you want to go. However, if you are thinking about traveling overseas, look at the seasonality and what you want out of it. For instance, Switzerland, every time through the year is great to go. You might want to go in summer where you've got the green lush fields, or you might want snow-capped mountains, in which case go during the winter time, which is around our Christmas. I would highly recommend the likes of November and December through there because they have Christmas markets that are just absolutely spectacular. For Alaska, which we covered off, again, I would highlight that the summer in the US, which is our winter, June, July and August are great times to travel to. But of course, you can always speak to travel crafters. They'll be able to help you out with any itinerary that you want and give you the recommendations for the best time to travel to suit your needs. So I have a great question here from Max about luggage. Fantastic, Max. Thank you for that. So luggage on board the trains. Now, there are usually no restrictions when it comes to this, but what I will suggest to you is take what you feel comfortable in carrying, because sometimes you do need to take your luggage on and off these trains yourself. So sticking to the likes of 30 kilos per person is a really good way to go, because that's what normally people can take on board a flight. So if you do need to fly somewhere and you're stuck with the 30 kilo limit, keep to the same for the train, because it means that you'll be able to comfortably take it on and off the train. Fantastic. So thank you for those questions. I really do appreciate them. And of course, if you do have any further questions, get in touch with New Avenues team. We have the phone number down there. It's 028964 4221, or of course email them at sales@travelcrafters.com.au. So what I will leave you with is, when it comes to rail bookings, 2 days to 2 years. This is the long and short of the booking period. You can book in as far in advance as 24 months, so even looking into 2022 is possible, or indeed as soon as just 2 days before departure. We have all the prices and the schedules ready to go, so if you are planning your next holiday for 2021 or beyond, let Travel Crafters know, and we'll be able to make those dreams a reality. So thank you so much for joining us here today. As I said, we'll leave you with those contact details. You can get in touch with New Avenues team. I thank you so much for being here and engaging with me. It's been fantastic, and hopefully we have inspired you, given you something to aspire to for the future. Get traveling. We look forward to it. In the meantime, stay safe and healthy.